What's good, y'all? Today I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about where every Shikai fits on my Shikai tier list, and this is going to be based off my opinion and my experiences. It may change depending on your build, but before we get into it, I'd just like to ask for you guys to go down and subscribe because only like 2% of you guys are subscribed right now. It's free, and it helps out the channel a lot. We're almost at 1.5k, and I'll be doing 15 skill boxes and 15 hawk giveaway for a mini giveaway for 1.5k in my Discord, and for 2k I'll be giving away 2 or 3 true hogs and some other mythical items. So if you want those, maybe an essence even or two, join up and get your rewards. And now let's get into it. And I'm going to be beginning with the middle ground in my opinion, which is Zangetsu. Zangetsu is a very good A tier in my opinion. It's in the middle of A tier. It's a very good Shikai, but at the same time, it doesn't have any extraordinary, like outstanding things about it. It's just very solid. It's not broken. I would say it's very skillful if you use it, but at the same time, it can be very not skillful. It's very noob friendly. If you're just beginning to start out in the game and are wondering what you can use to close the gap between you and higher level players, this just might be it. But as I said, very solid, has some decent hyper armor but not too great, has very good range and very just easy to use moves. And on the other side of the spectrum we have Suzumebachi. Now if you use Suzumebachi and say it is not the best Shikai or one of debatably the best Shikai in game, you are genuinely smoking crack, because at the moment Suzumebachi's teleport move, which has almost no fucking startup, bypasses guard as you see
I
on
don't
this
know.
clip right here, and both of its moves, or one move, guard breaks you and is a very crazy Hakuda extension, and since almost all Soul Reapers either play Kido with Tepusatsu or 90% of the time Hakuda, it is an extremely OP skill that guard breaks in close range. And the second move, and the third move, not the teleport grab one, grabs the opponent, poisons them, and throws them away with true combos into Wind Shunko to extend your combo. Suzumebachi is just undoubtedly and unarguably broken as a motherfucker, and there's not much to be said about it. It's literally just one of the most broken Shikai at the moment. It might be fixed in later updates, so if this comes out later, because it's midterm season for me right now, so it might not be uploaded for a bit, then you know why. This shit is absolutely busted at the time of recording this video, and it's undoubtedly, in my opinion, it is the best one. But then let's move on to the next one, which is Theater. Theater is at the top of A tier for me, and this might be controversial, but Theater it's not really that good. I can't really categorize it as into the good categories because, one, the teleport move where they lock onto you with the shadow, it's easily punishable by dashing to the side with flash step and then just hitting them with a move, because they're actually hit stunned, they have end lag. The only good thing about this is pretty much, I wouldn't even say the jump teleported, like the one you appear above them, is good. It's easily dodgeable. The second you appear, all they have to do is dash away. That's the common denominator in Theater. All they have to do is dash. It's the easiest thing to do in the game. And the counter is very good because it has no tell. Like, you can fake them out with typing in-game, what's that behind you? And then they think you use the counter and attack you, and then you can hit them with the counter that way. It's a very good counter. I'd say it's the best counter in-game at the moment, actually. But at the same time, its offensive moves cannot even come close to Ice, and that's why it lands in A tier. And now Ice is going into high S, low ungodly. Ice itself is not as OP as Suzumebachi is, offensive wise. It's a more laid back style, I'd say, kind of into the offensive and defensive styles. They try to bait you in, but it is definitely one of the best Shikai, and after the nerfs, it might even overtake the rest that will be in here. But in my opinion, it's very high S, probably top of S if you put it in S, or low ungodly, because its kit is just crazy. It has a frame one counter, which has no punishability or end lag, and comes back for what it is pretty quickly. And the tracking move just applies free pressure, and if it hits, it freezes them, which is obviously good. And the move that teleports hits before or not teleports, the move they have that dashes hits you before the dash even happens. So it's pretty wonky to parry or dodge because the hitbox is also pretty ass, I can't lie. So that kind of helps them out in this term, but Ice is good. It's very much one of the best, but at the moment it can't compete with the other two that will be ungodly. Suzumebachi, not Suzumebachi, Senbonzakura Kageyoshi or Flower. Definitely an S tier. The M1s themselves are extremely fucking large and can even counter Strata Strike. If someone Strata Strikes behind you, it pretty much hits them. It pretty much hits behind you. The aura around you with the flowers pretty much depletes Hierro instantly. It takes around 10 to 12 Hierro if all of it is hit, which is pretty easy to. Its crit is also pretty fucking nasty. It's pretty much just a weaker Spalton, but at the same time, it is still very good. It's still a dash guard break that does very good damage, and you can sometimes combo extend off it. Depends on how good your opponent is. The other two moves on Flower are also very decent. One's very close range, but at the same time, if you hit the second one, that also applies pressure afterwards, so you can move stack it. Flower itself is just decent. Nothing can be said about it that's really bad, unlike Theater, which is very punishable. In my opinion, this is definitely in the S tier, and it's solidly staying there. I don't think it's going to move for a very long time. And let's talk about Ink, or Ichibei Hyosube. I feel like just by itself, it deserves the top of A tier. Ink is very good if you know how to use it and play around how it's supposed to be played, like the hit and run play style, disabling moves and then going in. But most people with Ink either go Hakura and try to disable your moves, which I don't think is the best option. I would say Speed Ink would actually go pretty crazy, since you'd be able to disable their moves and they wouldn't be able to fight back against your hit and run tactics. But so I would just say Ink is very good, but depending on the player, it can even become, in my opinion, it can get up to where Ice is. But but it's solely on the player. Ink is actually very good, very underrated in my opinion. And me specifically, I'll put it at the top of A tier. You could easily argue that it's an S. Without a doubt, you can easily argue that it's an S. Because what I've said, it has a very good dash move that has a pretty big hitbox. The little sweep they have is a guard break as well, and it marks you with Ink, and you do less damage while you're with Ink, and they can disable moves and even your Shikai, Res, and Volt Shrift moves, which I don't have to say is OP as fuck. So let's move on to the next one, Blood. Definitely contestable with Suzumebachi right now. That Blood, it can be either of these two. But me personally, I have a tougher time dealing with Suzumebachi than I do with Blood. So I would just put Blood below Suzumebachi, but at the same time, these are very close. Blood's hitboxes do not make sense. They're like 4 or 5 times as wide as they should be. They reach way too far. They pull you from with that one move that hits you twice, that pulls you in for like 5 miles, and that one quick move that ragdolls you is just simply stupidly OP in my opinion. So me specifically, I wouldn't say this is better than Suzumebachi because these Suzumebachi, what it can do on Hakura is absolutely devious. Blood itself is just a hit or two. Like they won't do a crazy combo on you. It itself is just busted. Not busted as in like it's not really that. It doesn't really make sense. You can't really dodge it or avoid it without perfect dodging or parrying or blocking it. So I don't like it for that reason. But you could easily argue, hands down, that either of those two are the best in the game right now. I don't know. The hitboxes are just weird as shit on it. And now I'll be moving on to Judgement. Yeah, take your ass in. Who the fuck is that, my boy? No one in my entire existence, other than the day it came out, has ever used Judgement. And there was one guy who used Judgement, and he got his ass beat. And the next time we fought him, he didn't even have Judgement anymore. Just saying, nobody uses Judgement, and I'm just gonna say for a very good fucking reason. Judgement is dog ass. Nothing more to be said about it. And Wind, I'll talk about Poison. Poison is our first B tier. I don't know what it is about Poison. Maybe it's just its users, but the way it's used can be pretty good. But at the same time, it's just the lower fucking tier Suzumebachi. You have to mark them to hit the teleport, and the Poison isn't even all that strong in my opinion. It's just a worse Suzumebachi because Suzumebachi can also poison the enemy while doing like way more crazy shit than they can. So it's pretty much just a B tier. It's not even better than any of these in my honest opinion. It's pretty wonky to use. as I said, you have to hit the first move, which I don't think is even a guard break to even use your second move, and the third move is just I don't even know what it is. It could be like it genuinely could be in the fuck is that, but at least I've seen a few after the update itself came out. So it can just stick in B tier in my opinion. You can argue with me in the comments if you don't agree with my decision, but I'll be moving on to Wind. Wind is definitely top of S tier. You could argue if it's not or not, but Wind is definitely still S tier. Even if you don't have guard breaks, the hitboxes on it are crazy as shit. The Wind Crown hits half the time when it shouldn't. It goes past the opponent and then decides, you know what, I'm gonna hit him anyway. The Wind Grab is still crazy. Don't care if it doesn't guard break, or don't care if it doesn't guard break. The wind move can true combo into any move in the game and is genuinely stupid as shit if you don't react to it quick enough. And on high ping, it's very much possible that you don't react to it. And the third move is just decent. It can true combo into Shori and you can place it behind someone to make sure they don't block it. So you can just follow up into Shori that way and it's a guaranteed hit. Just saying, Wind is still busted as shit. If you say otherwise, you're biased as fuck, then get over yourself. Fire? Fire is a tough one for me. I'd say Fire is at the right below Ink, in my opinion. It's good, but at the same time, it's not like worthy of praise or just outstanding in general. It's pretty easy to parry. It has easy tells. It's not like tricky with like Theater is or just OP how Ice is. It's okay. Like it's playable. You'll enjoy it, but at the same time, there's better options. And it is definitely not the best in game or even close to it. So yeah, that's pretty much all it is. The moves are guard breaks, but at the same time, they're long as shit. You do have some good dashes, but that's just it. It's just overall good. There's nothing really great about it. Now, creation? Creation users, my boys. I don't know what it is about you motherfuckers that say creation is bad, but for the love of God, take it out your fucking mind that creation is bad. Creation is easily S tier. Easily S tier. The only reason it's not an ungodly is because it actually takes some skill to play, unlike these three. Like, creation actually makes you aim, but at the same time, if you aim, almost all of its attacks can guarantee a true combo into Sonata Flow or any of those types of moves like Fast Fang. It is absolutely ridiculous. And it guard breaks on the fucking throw move as well, which is absolutely insane. Why should I be guard broken for blocking a move that travels fast as shit? I don't understand it. And I'll just like to say, if you use creation, just know, you always spam that one stun move from League of Legends that they stole from Irelia. And that move needs a nerf, because it should not guard break. It is way too fucking quick. Being a guard break at that speed is ludicrous. And straight up heresy at this point. Now, let's move on to Shadow. Shadow, it's, I would say it's the top A tier. Like, as I said, Ink is shifting between these two. I would just put it at, like, low S, high A. So, Shadow is also in the same, like, plot. Shadow is good. Actually, I'll put it in low S. Shadow is definitely very good. It has incredible pressure. One, you can shoot the snake at them, and at the same time use the dash, and it's pretty much their entire posture bar, and any move you do is now unguardable. So, and the dash itself is pretty much invisible. You only have sound cues to go off of, and based on the distance they do it from, you won't really get the chance to see it. And, yeah, that's pretty much all Shadow is. It's just infinite pressure, and that one pull move is... Like, if they get you with the one pull move, not only does it do almost half a bar on the slam down, they can also true combo into anything else. So Shadow itself is busted, but at the same time it's not busted, like, it's not uncounterable. You can easily counter it if you play well enough. So that's pretty much all it is. It's a very, very strong Shikai, but at the same time, there is counterplay to it, which is why it's not an ungodly. Ice itself, kind of has a counterplay, but that's why it's in low S, high S. Low ungodly, high S. And now let's move on to Confusion. And I'll just like to say, Confusion is not all it's made up to be, but it's definitely not as bad as people say. Because I've seen a tier list where the motherfucker put Confusion in D. And just, what the fuck were you thinking, my guy? Confusion is not D tier. Nowhere close to D tier. I can't even lie to you. Matter of fact, I don't think anything is D tier, so I'm gonna just go ahead and delete that row entirely. I don't think anything is even C tier. remove both of these. Like, it is absolutely insane how any of you think Confusion is D tier. Confusion is easily at least like high A tier, if not S. Confusion has a frame 1 fucking counter that not only is frame 1, mind you, but it refreshes on hit. So you could technically counter someone till they fucking die with Confusion. Matter of fact, the fucking Confusion hit effect itself, where they spin that big ass sword around, yeah, unblockable, by the way. For what reason, too? Like, literally stupid as shit that it's unblockable, in my opinion. Just not a good fucking, just not good game design. But in and of itself, Confusion, if you play like well and bait out the counter 1 or 2 times, it's not too hard to deal with. But I wouldn't put it in S tier. Me personally, Confusion is, I can deal with it, like me personally. But you could argue it's an S tier easily, like without issue. But it's definitely A tier. It's unquestionably A tier. Lightning, yeah, get your ass in S. Lightning been in S since the start of the game and will remain in S until the end of the game. Has a lot of lock-on moves, an almost instantaneous dash, and something that ignores both dodges or flash steps and also ignores fucking block and just stuns them. And missing it is pretty much a fucking impossibility. So just know, Lightning, there's not really much to say about it. It's just that it has lock-on moves. It has a lock-on move that pretty much is unpunishable because it has no end lag. It has a good lock-on teleport move that stuns and extends into an M1 sometimes. You can even flash fake out it. And the fucking straight-up dash that ignores guarding. I hope you know, this is S. And I would say it's arguably better than... Yeah, I would say it's like up here. I would say Suzumebachi is slightly better than Creation. But that's the list for now. Water, A tier. Right next to Fire. Water is good, but at the same time, it's not that great. Like, it's not an S tier, but it's usable. It's very much usable, and if the user knows what they're doing, it can be pretty fucking devastating. I can't lie to you. Because it goes from behind you and everything. And Water, as I said, is just A tier. There's nothing more about it. The geyser is pretty good, but at the same time, it's not like Shadow where you can't actually see or react to it, so it just kind of appears on you. So it's not too OP, but as I said, very strong. If the user knows what they're doing, they'll likely beat your ass. Berserk? Oh god, here goes the controversy. It's S tier, bro. Anyone who plays Berserk and says it's not S tier, you're delusional. First of all, the startup of its chase down dash move is a guard break. And on top of that, even if you missed that, the dash itself guard breaks you, which, don't question me, I've played ranked 2v2s and everything. It still guard breaks me. It may be because I have a clan with no posture, but I have every fucking unobtainable raid boss item in the game with posture. It should not be guard breaking me. And I was just like, it is a guard break. I'm 95% sure that dash is a guard break. The fucking move where they slash is pretty much like Blood, but with like less pull slightly. It's more balanced. But it also, at the same time, it does crazy fucking damage. Like, Berserk in itself is crazy damage. And if you mix it with like, Dagger and get Limit Break, brother, I can't lie to you. Limit Broken Dagger with Berserk, yeah, you're taking like fucking half a bar in M1. Maybe not that much. But like 3 M1s, they take a bar. It's absolutely insane. And that's pretty much the entire list. Let me know if you agree with me, what you disagree with me on. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Sorry for not being able to upload any high tier content right now. Midterm season, as I said. Join my Discord, subscribe, and thank you for the views. See you guys later. Peace.